right in sight, but feels so out of sight. Out of sight. Dynamite. He was just here making all these calls. You might hear him again. I'm gonna see if I could turn him around, let y'all say hello to my little blue jay friend. There he is, getting ready to go and have his snacks. Or not. Maybe he just came to say hello. But peace, love and greetings, rising, divine rising, Sirius rising to you all. Happy whatever day this is for you. I am Celestial Earth and this divine energy essence of it all. Yes, reporting to you live from dimension number 5. But I must be honest, I'm right here sitting in 2D consciousness, which is the earth, the plants, everything in the earth is 2D consciousness. And I'm here preparing for the attunement, which we're going to do today. For those of you who said yes, then yes, it is. It's not going to be done here live. The revolution will not be televised. We have to keep the space sacred, especially with all these trolls that be popping up on here. I definitely wouldn't leave our space, our sacred space, open to those kind of attacks. So for those who are serious, you still have a little bit of time. I may check this email one more time, even though I really don't want to. But if spirit says do it, I'll do it. So if you fall in alignment and you want to be a part of the attunement, we're going to be doing it either at 1:30, which is in a few, either at 1:30 Eastern time or 4 o'clock, 4:30 Eastern time. So because we have someone that's hours away, in Europe, in England, shout out to you. And we want to make sure that everyone gets, in, who can get in. It's not for everyone. So when I say everyone, I mean those light bodies. But why I'm really here, this is definitely not a solicitation. I'm simply giving an invitation for those who it just may happen to speak to, and you move on a leap of faith and say, I feel like that's for me. You have that opportunity. You can go ahead and email me at akilatextry@gmail.com. But before I'll give the information again. I really have to share what I'm sitting here in, because I wasn't planning on doing this live. I'm sitting in meditative mode. I'm pretty much carrying you all in with me. For those who are here, I see you. Greetings, love and light. In Korea, okay. And I'm sharing 2D consciousness, literally sitting in the 2D consciousness. And as I sat out here, let me say this. There are tears, like there are waves of tears that are coming amongst me. I'm sitting grounded, of course, bare feet. And as soon as I sit down, this has been happening for the past week or so, pretty much since we've been in this gateway. I haven't had a big full release like some people, like all out crying, but I have been feeling the release of grief and other things that have been coming up. Old grief, it's like stale stuff, but it's been lodged in our pain bodies. It's been lodged in our emotional bodies, which is what carries all the information. So a lot of people may be feeling it in their sacral. If you're feeling anything, little pinches or something in your sacral, I know I have, so I can say that. There's a little something there, or maybe a little more than something, but the sacral body, the sacral chakra is the emotional body. So it will be what's carrying. And I know that's the message, because as I sat out here, I kept seeing big orange butterflies, and butterflies represent, transformation. So I'm passing that to you, sharing that with you, that there needs to be a transformation within the sacral. What needs to be transmuted is what's in the sacral. So what I'm sharing to you all right now, I'm just giving you off the cuff, like whatever messages that I'm getting right now while I'm sitting in the midst of 2D consciousness. Although I always say I'm 5D. Yes, we're in the 5th dimension. That's another message that it's like I felt that the trees want me to share. I know that sounds funny. It sounds weird to me, even coming out of my mouth. The trees want me to share. And this is how I know I've arrived at a different level or a different place in communication with the earth. This has to do with Jehudi or Mercury. Mercury just went direct. And for a lot of us, this message, whoever it resonates with, you may have gone direct with information that whatever we've plucked out of while we were in retrograde, we're now going forward on a new level of communication, specifically with the earth. So you may be feeling the earth a little bit differently. Like I literally been feeling pulsations in the earth. The information are the pulsations in the earth. So you may be very sensitive to feeling that. And the next level of communication is communication back with the earth. So it may sound weird to some people, but to those who are not, who are aware, not, tree lovers and things like that, who are connecting back with Mother Earth, it may seem very normal to you. I'm adjusting to it as I'm saying it to you because it sounded weird, in all truth and honesty, just coming out of my mouth. So, um, yes, your tears. I may not see all the comments because I'm out here in the sun and the gaze on the screen is a little, I may not see it as clear. And y'all know me and the glasses. Um, Feed the trees. Yes, I do. I hug them. I touch them. I put my palms on them because when you put your palms on them, I always felt that I was giving them energy or information, and it turns out they're giving it back to you if you put your hand on an open stump specifically. Thank you, discernment, for passing that, sharing that information along, because I never saw it the other way. But if you see like a stump on a tree and you put your hand on it, it's like it is giving you something. And even if it's not just a stump, you exchange information with the 2D consciousness, which was here before 3D consciousness made its grand appearance. And so, yes, I've been feeling the tears, but it's like it comes in waves. As I sit here, it feels like pulsations and waves. I'll be sitting here in meditation and I can feel the earth, and I can feel, I don't want to say, it's not like a sadness, the tears, for those of you who may be flooding out with tears, it's a release. And tears are portals as well. I've mentioned that a long time ago. Tears, which is water, the liquids, it's a portal into your soul. It's a portal. It's actually a key that is opening a memory compartment for you. So allow yourself to have the tears. Allow the tears to flow, because it is a portal into your consciousness as well. And so as I'm sitting here and just being in that allowance, which is receptivity, I came out here with the idea that I'm going to do a specific type of meditation, do my whole Reiki, self-Reiki. And yes, like spirit and energy, consciousness is saying, no, we don't need your intellect, because you know, it engages your intellect when you're doing certain, rituals. And it's like, no, just free flow. I came out here with the intention to write, and it was like, no, we don't need you to write. We just need you to sit and practice receptivity. Sit for like at least 5 minutes is what I heard. And there's the orange butterfly again. So again, I'm going to remind you all that we need to have a transformation in our sacral. There are emotions, there are things stuck in the emotional body that are keys, informational keys that we need to know and we need to unlock. So we need to be able to shift in our sacral and have a full transformation, butterfly type of transformation. Go into chrysalis and get in that cocoon and really transform that information for you. So the tears are those portals, and it's saying, it's highlighting, open up the keys to show what's happening. I'm getting glimpses of things that's happening all over the earth, because the earth is very interconnected. And y'all see this tree touching me? Like, this is what made me kind of wake up, like realize that they really are communicating with you. It's literally, as you saw it here, as I said what I said, I guess it agreed. It touched my back, and it almost feels like a hand patting your back. And I don't know how many of you have seen these meditations, right? Breathe with it's your station. Yes, I'm in station, if I'm reading that correctly. Ashe, thank you. And I don't know how many of you have been seeing those videos where people are saying, like they're communicating and telling the tree to touch them, and it touches them. And a lot of people just believe, oh, that's the breeze. But we have to remember, it's wisdom in the wind. And there's a whole conversation going on in this earth. And the trees, yes, they speak through the breeze, or the breeze speaks through the trees. It's very interactive, but it's not just breeze it's not by chance. There's an intentional type of movement that they're doing with the wind. And you can tell the difference because the way some of them move, the wind is right here blowing in the same space, but they're moving differently, if that makes sense. And so this was the first time that I felt the tree. As I'm sitting out here, I felt it basically palm my back. And it looks like a little palm tree. Palm. And it literally, out of the blue, I'm deep in my meditation, and I just felt it as if it was saying, it's okay, I'm here, or remember me. It was kind of like that feeling. And then I was like, no way is this happening. And I just sat in meditation and started to do it again. And you just witnessed it peeking over my shoulder and, basically touching my back as a certain winds blow. So as I'm listening to that, two things were coming up that I want to share with you all as I'm speaking to you all here. I'm going to get back to the 2D consciousness because there was a message that they want us to hear with the 2D consciousness. Go with it now? Okay, no, it wants me to continue. So the 2D consciousness, as it's speaking to us, although we are in the fifth dimension, is to be understood that we expand in consciousness. We do not leave a dimension behind. And that's what the 2D wanted, the message that it was really presenting. You do not leave another dimension behind. You expand out of that dimension into another dimension, but it is still inclusive of those previous dimensions. But in an evolved state. It is because when you get rid of the shadows in that dimension, you expand to the next dimension. You cannot go with when you have shadows, because the shadows are incoherent vibrations. So especially in 3D consciousness. So when you expand, you go into the next dimension and you don't leave behind the other. So I'm hearing that because the trees are saying, yes, we've been left behind, as I am coming online to the communication with the trees right here and now. Even the tears that I was feeling, it's like they're saying, yes, that's me. We're here. There's a lot that has been going on that you have missed. It's like it's been saying, we've been communicating with you, with humankind, this whole time, but we're often ignored, and it's just looked at as, oh, that's just the breeze. But they're actually communicating. Even now, as you see, it picked up as I said that. And the breeze is not just happenstance. The breeze is very in the atmosphere, and this is 5D. The atmospheric level is fifth dimension. In the atmosphere, there's a certain movement that is happening intentionally that allows the communication between the trees in that way. See? And as I said it, just did it again. And there are roots that go down very deep in the earth. We don't understand that it looks like a whole circuit board under the earth. A lot of us don't think about that. We just see the tree above the ground, and we don't realize that all these trees in this yard, this tree right here, all the way to that tree over there, they're communicating under the ground. When we're on the surface, we see them as far apart, but under the ground, their roots are communicating. There's a whole network. There's a whole underground network of 2D consciousness that comes up. We are blessed when we're in its presence, and it brings its information up to us, should we choose to embrace it, should we choose to exchange in that energy. Ashe? We need to stop stirring and believe in. Okay, love and light to you. So this is for those who it is for. Like I said, it's not for everybody, and you don't have to be here. You can always transition and transit out. You can always have an ego death and get out. You can always die. Ego death. All right, it's a beautiful thing. Don't be afraid. It's a beautiful transition. You should try it out. And the 2D consciousness is saying, connect, speak to me, listen to me. It's a blessing when you do. So to get back to explaining this consciousness to consciousness, it was saying to me that we leave 2D consciousness behind as 3D came about, and 3D meaning everything that is animated and moving, like animals, not just humans, but animals. All of that is 3D consciousness. And so as it came about and it developed, the more it became into itself, let's say more egoic, more into itself a certain way, the more it left 2D consciousness behind, as if it does not exist. It did not include 2D consciousness. And my question was, as I'm hearing it, I was saying, how should the inclusion look? And it simply said love. Love and compassion. I stand rooted, and this is something I've been saying for a while. I stand rooted in love and compassion. And this love and compassion allows us to remember that we're not without that other consciousness. Let's say lower because it's in the lower numbers, but not lower because it's less than. But the 2D, the 3D consciousness, we feel like it's beneath us because we're in 3D, 4D, 5D, and even one dimension. As I was getting this information about the 2D consciousness, it was sharing to me that including one, and I was like, yeah, how so? And what is one? If 2D consciousness is the earth, what is 1D consciousness, which would be before earth in existence the way it is, before the pulsation of the earth, before earth got a heartbeat, right? You know, when the baby is in the womb and they say, go check the heartbeat. When you hear that heartbeat, it's here. So the pulsations of the earth began, it's here. So before that, it was a seed. So 1D consciousness is a seed, and it's saying that we need to love and respect the seed as well. The seed is a seed of pure potentiality that we all come from, and the earth itself was once a seed out of the universe. So never forget it. Not because we're in another dimension means we disregard that seed. There's information. That's what it was saying to me. We all carry information from the beginning of time. From the first dimension, there's information, and you expand out of that information into the second dimension, pulsation of the earth, and there's information there, and then you expand into the third dimension of information, and it's all supposed to be handled with love and compassion. And so it was showing to me that if we go back, and this is why it's a lot of the energy is asking us to go back into 2D consciousness and get right with earth, because if we go back and we respect and we have a communication and we respect the information communication between 2D consciousness, then it will help us to reframe even 3D consciousness, which humanity is having a huge problem breaking the shadows of 3D consciousness, because it's not as standstill as 2D consciousness. It's moving around, it's doing its own thing. You know, think of 3 as the solar plexus level of life, and the solar plexus is the identity. Like, we got our identity and we're like teenagers. Like, it's like 3D consciousness is like the teenager age of earth. Like, okay, we know it all. We know it all. We got this. Oh, we got this. We got this. And it's hard to get through to the teenager level of earth. 2D consciousness was more humble because it wasn't moving around. It wasn't animated and so autonomous. Yet it is more intelligent than us because it has a stronger obedience than 3D consciousness. It is more obedient to the ways of the universe and getting the codes of the universe. So therefore, 2D consciousness is better at accessing codes from the universe than we are. So we have to respect it. And this is why I'm hearing the guidance of saying, go back into the 2D consciousness, sit with the earth, sit with the trees, communicate, and start to see them as not just breeze that is blowing in the wind haphazardly, but an intentional communication in the ethers, through the ethers, coming through the atmosphere into the earth. Think of it coming from, the crown, spiraling down into the earth, touching the trees, speaking to one another, going down into the roots. And imagine it, parallel it to your spine, from your crown going on down and into your spine, and just communicating with you all the way till it's grounded in the earth, which brings you to your physical self. Ashe? Ashe. I'm in my vitamins. I know some people like, take more vitamins. Oh, all of this is my vitamins. All right, don't be fooled by the dark circles. Sometimes it's sleep, sometimes it's a little iron. I'm borderline iron. I'm aware of that. But the universe always takes care of me. And guess what? Because I'm working so hard spiritually, I am getting less sleep. Some of us are getting less sleep just from the frequencies that we're in. And I'm not just in these frequencies. I'm working through the frequencies and pioneering and holding the door open and being a bridge and being an open portal to help channel those who choose to go through. And that takes work. So don't think I'm just sitting here la 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 in my backyard. This is work. And this is what work looks like. But don't worry. I know I bounce back. Put on weight and everything because I've been fasting. And I do lose weight quickly because I got a super fast metabolism because I burn. I burn information. I don't store information. So as soon as this is closing, the gate closes today. I finished the attunement today, and I will be back on eating certain things. I'm not going back fully to everything, but I will be taking in more substance and definitely getting more rest because the gate is closed. And I probably won't put out videos for the rest of the week. The spirit's going to have to tell me to, because it's rest time. After this, for me, it's rest mode, reflection, evolution, shift, and transformation. All right, don't be afraid to rest. That's another meditation. Oh, an Assyrian suit. I got you. There's a don't be afraid to rest. That's another message I was getting. But I want to make sure, and I want to make sure we all get this message that 2D consciousness made me come online and speak to you all about. There's a new level of communication. It's new for me. I'm excited to move forward. Mercury direct took me into a like, here's a communication level for you, and brought me to this 2D consciousness awareness, which I've been aware of 2D consciousness, but not to that degree and the way I just explained how it shared this information with me. And that we need to respect even 1D consciousness. Please respect the seed. Respect the earth as a seed, and respect you as a seed, and respect humanity as a seed. Meaning the seed carries all potentiality. So the seed has even more information than the 2D consciousness. Love and compassion for just that simple seed. Something that you think is so simple is so potent. Potent in the word potential. All potentiality, potent. So go back to that. Respect it. Meditate on it. And then as you expand out of that into 2D, love and compassion and respect for the 2D consciousness as the pulsation of the earth. And knowing that it is intentional, it is not haphazard, it is speaking to you. Are you going to listen? And are you going to speak back? Are you going to, like I was literally sitting here speaking with the plant when I saw it wave. I said, oh, I see you. Hi. Just a simple acknowledgement. And then as soon as I started to do that, I opened up communication with the birds. And the animals are kind of like, to me, a cross between 2D consciousness and 3D consciousness. Because they don't intellectualize like how we are right now, or so we think, because they do in their language. And it comes in and it's chirp, chirp. And I'm saying, okay, I acknowledged it because the food is here. I thought he would just come get it. Sometimes they say something and I nod my head and say, go ahead. But this time was different. We literally were like here having a conversation, and they came to the fence, and I would nod my head and say hello to each one. And then they would kind of chirp back and then come in and get their food and look at me again. They'd stand on the fence, and I figured, oh, they looking out for the cat. So I nod to them and I say, it's okay. It's okay, because I know they're looking for the cat, because he's looking to side. And as soon as I say it's okay, it flew in, got, nodded its head, picked up his food, went away. The next one came up and I acknowledged it and said, your turn. And it came in. I was out here feeling like Pocahontas and Cinderella talking to the birds. Hey, good morning. How are you? Good grand rising. Not morning, because nobody's mourning over here. This is all libation in this here gestation, in this station right here. Ashe. So let me see if I see anything else here. Hello everyone. Life with Misty. Greetings, love and light. So I say that to say this. Ultimate message is when you respect those other dimensions, 1D and 2D, and then it'll bring you to some of us who are having problem with people in the third dimension. When you respect second dimension, it's going to help you respect third dimension and understand that it's not to leave 3D behind, but it is to expand 3D consciousness into the fourth dimension of time. But you do so when you respect it. Again, love and compassion. Respect it for what it is. So even those that are in their shadows, understand that that's where they are, and that's okay. See beyond their shadows, love them to be an extended version of the pulsation of Earth. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't need to over explain yourself. You don't need understanding. And then when you master that, you expand, you leave the throngs of the, you leave the shadows of 3D consciousness behind. We stop being that immature teenager in life, in this stage of life in 3D, and we learn to mature. And in that maturity, you expand into the fourth dimension, and you realize that you are out of time but within divine time, because the fourth dimension represents that time. And when you're in that time, you're going to feel more pulsations of the earth. Right now, the pulsations that I'm feeling is really experiencing, in the now moment, experiencing fourth dimensional earth. So it's like I'm oscillating in between. A lot of people don't realize that. You don't just stay stagnant in one dimension, especially if it's inclusive of the other. So I know I'm always in the fifth dimension with the 5D earth, but I'm experiencing fourth dimension through time by suspending the way we hold time in our body. And when I say time, I don't mean time on a clock. I mean our vessel as time. We suspend what time represents to us in the flesh, carnal mind, in the body. We suspend that. Ashe. And then able to see the love in 3D. For me, it's through the animals, because I'm not around people. So I started to notice the animals, and in love and compassion for that, being able to see 2D, which brought me to 1D and back again. So faithfully, you get what I'm saying. Please understand the energy the earth wants you to know. Even for those who are in 5D, you're not leaving behind the other dimensions. Get that concept out of your mind. You are expanding from one dimension into the next within time, traveling through the consciousness within your mind. It's an expansion within you, as within, so without, but it starts with you. So when you expand within your consciousness, you are moving, you are shifting through the barriers within your own mind, which allows you to shift the barriers out of time, outside of your mind. And then you do look out of your mind to other people outside of your consciousness. And that's okay too. So I say that because that's what it wanted to share. And like I said, for those who want to be a part of the attunement, we're doing one at about, it's probably going to be 2 o'clock, because I'm doing this now, and I didn't plan on doing this. It was supposed to be either 1:30 or 4 o'clock. So I will confirm it with you if you email me at akilatextry@gmail.com if you would like to catch this attunement. AKILAHTEX as in an X, TRI @gmail.com. And I will check it then. Before I go, okay, Spirit, now I can say this. There was a dream that I had, and I want to share this because some of you were there with me. I don't know who this for. Someone who may not even be here right now. You may see it later. But there was someone who came to me in a dream while I was in a, let's say, a spiritual institution that I no longer am affiliated with anymore. And as I'm looking around, I know that I don't need to be here. It's like, why am I here? I don't need to be here. And I said, okay, maybe I just need to say something to this one person. She knows a lot about what's in there, crystals and things like that. And I went to see her, but it's like I saw her, but I didn't really see her. And it's like, okay, turn around and leave. And someone tapped me on my shoulder, like the way this tree is right now. And she walked around, kind of tapped me and walked around to me and just started speaking to me about what's happening right now. Hello, squirrel. Now my squirrel is here. Let me see if you guys can see it. He's right on the tree. Say hi to the people, Charlie. You waving with your tail? Okay. You can come get some nuts too. He's like, any more left? Any more left? It's some, come get it. So the person tapped, walked around, and she said to me, she was speaking to me about what's happening in this timeline. It went more in depth, and I'm going to retrieve those codes. But just to share with you, I know something major was happening. There was some coming together within the dream, and it didn't quite feel like a dream. It's like we were all in this alternate state. Um, and I say all because it became more of us. It was just she and I at first as she spoke to me. And it's like she was passing a message to me that came from beyond us, like a starseed message. Like this came from them. That's how it was put to me. And she was like, there's this timeline split, and she was telling me, we all know about the timeline, but the way that she was speaking about it was a certain way that it is splitting, and it's something that I'm aware of. But when she brought it to me, it was like a confirmation. So I want to say thank you to whoever that was, because it's somebody that's in our lighthouse group somehow. It's somebody, as it was pressed upon me, it's somebody that is coming online that has already been aware um, of our energy here that we share even within this channel. So I'm saying thank you for that. And you know who you are. If you know who you are, it's in the energetic realm. It's just the way things are done. I get it. So I'm saying, I'm acknowledging that, and I'm acknowledging and saying yes collectively to what is to come of that. Because it was like once she said that to me and I confirmed, because she probably thought I was going to look at her like she's crazy. But I was like, no, I know you. Like, we never saw each other before, but in a dream, and she said that to me. I said, no, I know you, and I know what you're saying, and thank you. And then instantly it came to, we're in the backyard somewhere by my fence, and I came, and it was a group of people sitting there waiting on the attunement. Well, at first I didn't know what they were waiting for. It's like, what is everybody doing here? Like, I was going to tell y'all, but why are you here already? It's like they beat me to the punch. And they were like, we're here. And they started preparing for what we're about to do. And when I saw, I was like, oh, they're here for the attunement. Okay. So, all right, we can do the attunement. And then I said, okay, I went to get something in the house. When I went, someone was there trying to contact someone on the phone, because whoever couldn't be here present wanted to be here via technology. So it was like, oh, I got her on the line. I got them. And then, people were connecting. And as I came through the house, I went through the front, and then the front porch. I don't even have a porch here like that. But it's like I had a porch, and it was filled with different people. And some were standing at the side, like, I'm looking at you too, because some of them look like, hip culture, like they here for a concert, like they here for something else. So I'm like, what about you? And they was like, no, we here for that too. And I was like, oh, okay, so bring it on. But I wasn't prepared, but I was. It was kind of like that. Spirit was like, yep, it's time. So something she did when she tapped on me and told me, it's like it triggered an initiation moment. So I want to say, yes, I received that. And for those of you who are there, we will be engaging and interacting as the community builds. Like I saw that it was like the community is coming in together. So not just for this attunement, but for future ones. But it is being activated, and it is being activated. So, hey, who is that? King that is saying, hey, queen, peace, love, and light. Ashe, Ashe, Ezioku. So I definitely wanted to share that and say it's up and on from here, y'all. There's a lot that we are coming online to as to what she was telling me, and we're splitting apart. We really are splitting apart on another level from the rest. I'm talking even within the spiritual community, there has been another layer of shedding, and not everyone crossed over that barrier. And that's fine. They'll cross in due time. But there's a specific people that made this type of transition through the halls of Amenti, through the 8-8 gateway. And now as it's being sealed today with this attunement, we're doing it on the seal. And today what blesses our attunement is the Venus and Jupiter conjunction, with the expansion of beauty. Ashe. So I'm going to leave it there because I see the phone is saying it is time. I have to go and plug it up, and that's my cue. So again, remember, we're expanding consciousness. Do not leave out 2D. Please include love and compassion in those consciousness so that you can faithfully, safely expand out of the shadows of the 3D conscious. When you go back and respect the 2D, you're going to see 3D in another way. And that's going to help with the expansion in time. Aside from that, again, thank you for those in the future who we're going to be building the community and who are waiting on this attunement, and you shall receive, and we will all perceive something different. We'll be in a different perception in time. And remember, for that attunement, and there's only a few moments because I'm doing it today, and it can be as early as 2 o'clock till later on in the day. One of the two. I'm not doing it twice. So move quickly and efficiently if this is for you and you're saying yes. And you would have to email me with your phone number. With your phone number to make it quickly so I can get that link to you quickly. AKILAHTEXTRI at gmail.com. And I'm going to leave it right there. And from here, from my heart to yours, from 1D consciousness to 2D consciousness to 3 with me and the birds and Charlie and the trees, into the 4th dimension and into the 5. And for those who are beyond it, to the 6th and 7th and 9th, I send it to the ethers and beyond, from my heart to yours, while we exist in the pulsations of the earth. And I'm going to just let y'all wave bye to Charlie. Say bye, Charlie. He was just waving his little tail. There you go. And the birds. And the trees. We all wish you love and light. Peace, love, and light. I think I got it. Is it going?